Anyway, the Browns and the Steelers play each other on Thursday night. Drew, who's winning this game? Or do you want to have some analysis first? Fine, we can do that. I guess we can talk about it. Whatever, dude. I think the Browns will be able to run the ball semi-effectively. I think the Steelers will be able to run the ball semi-effectively, especially if Jadeveon Clowney is still out for them. I think this is going to be one of those ugly games that everybody has to watch because it's the only game on. But this is the kind of football that the Steelers kind of invite teams to play. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be just very physical with these two teams that both still have designs on winning this division, I think. And then I think ultimately it's going to wind up being the Steelers defense that carries the day, and they win another 17-14 kind of fair. Maybe it's 21-20. Maybe the score goes a little bit higher than that Patriots game, but I think it's going to be a carbon copy of that again, Drew. I think we're going to see the exact same thing where you're like, well, I wasn't super excited to watch it. The defense wasn't even particularly that good, but nobody scored, and the Steelers managed to not score a little bit less than the other team. So,
Scott, good to see you. He says, go Rams. Nathan also says the Browns. Ian's with you, except higher scoring. He's saying the Steelers are going to win 28-24.
I think Mitch is going to struggle a little bit more.
I think the Cameron Hayward is an amazing defensive lineman, and the loss of T.J. Watt is so much more than what you can, ask for the players around the Steelers organization and that defense to replace.
Mm-hmm.
And when you play a division rival with another great defense with Miles Garrett
yep.
on the other side that can do almost the exact same thing T.J. Watt can do, I kind of want to give it to the Browns, man.
Okay.
I kind of want to give the Browns.
You're allowed to. You're allowed to pick one who's going to win.
No, you're gonna.
You obviously don't feel good about it. You're asking permission to like the Browns.
You're gonna beat me every time you hit me after I say this.
Okay, yeah. Don't disagree with me on the show. Yeah, because that would make a great show.
No, it's not. It's because I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like this pick because the Browns let me down so much. The Browns let me down week 1 when I thought they were going to lose, and they went off and won.
Did they let you down when they lost to Joe Flacco off an onside kick?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like this is a game they could win. And I don't think it's a knock on the Steelers. It's just they're healthier. They're healthier. Who are they missing that's like a prime star besides
Jadeveon Clowney? It's still important to the defense. He's not the guy that we thought was going to go number 1 overall. Okay, all right, fine. And it's not Myles Garrett. Okay, that's fine. He's still the second offensive or defensive lineman.
When you
on
have
that
Clowney on your roster, you just expect him to miss the game.
Yeah, you do expect that. But the other thing when it comes to Myles Garrett is now I can go and have my tight end go over there, and I don't have to worry about going one-on-one with Clowney on the other side. Especially with the Steelers who struggle on the offensive line. I can do whatever I need to resource-wise to try to slow down Myles Garrett. So as far as the rest of this game goes...
With that weak offensive line the Steelers got?
Yeah, but if I can put 3 guys on somebody, they can be bad offensive linemen. They're probably, unless his name's Aaron Donald, they'll probably be all right.
Ian says he's always excited to watch the Steelers. He says, Drew, that you want to go with the Steelers. That's why you are iffy.
I still have the Steelers going to the playoffs. I still think they're a good team. I think, again, the offensive line isn't perfect, and the quarterback situation is still up in the air. This should be the rookie, period. Especially, somehow they went with Ben Roethlisberger, who they gave no time to throw the ball, to even a shorter leash with Mitch Trubisky. He has, the lowest time to throw. They're not letting him do anything. It's not just because they don't trust the offensive lines, because they don't trust Mitch Trubisky. Otherwise, you'd be throwing some of these deeper passes.
We can go in forever about this conversation.
Okay, well, we kind of have to because we're talking about this game. But
no, about them starting the rookie over Mitch Trubisky.
Yes. It's going to be I told you so until Mitch drops 40 points on the board. And then I'll be like, all right, maybe he's all right still. But until he does that, Drew, I told you so. They should have started Kenny Pickett.
They got to learn to get the receivers the ball. They got to learn to throw the ball better. They got to learn to run the ball better. And when they figure that out, it doesn't really matter what quarterback's sitting back there, in my opinion, because the Steelers' defense is that good.
So why not give the rookie the reps that he's going to need in the next couple of years?
Because rookies are acceptable to taking losses and never being able to turn it around.
You're playing Jacoby Brissett.
You're playing the Browns' defense with Myles Garrett.
And you're going to run on them because their defensive line isn't that good outside of Myles
Najee Harris, who can't stay healthy.
But he's not healthy now. I know we had a scare week 1, but he's healthy now.
Yeah, until he gets hurt.
I don't know. With me, It doesn't matter who it is. I think the Steelers are going to win a close one. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be brutal. I think it's going to be fun to watch because you're like, those aren't my teams beating on each other like that.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of those games that when you watch, if you're a fan of one of these teams, you're like, man, next week is going to be tough because they just tried to kill each other.
Yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy watching this game because these teams do not like each other.
Yeah, and I do think this is an important kind of step because the AFC is so tough that if you can go 2-1, I think legitimately your playoff hopes are still alive. But I think both of these teams falling to 1-2, the panic meter starts to rise a little bit when you talk about the offensive talent that you're going to be playing with.
Especially if you're the Browns. You cannot lose now this game. This has to be a winning game. If your playoff hopes at all this year, you have to win this game. Steelers, if they were 1-2, I think the Steelers still have an opportunity to make
still
playoffs.
think you're a little worried about it because you scored, 17 points this week? And like I said, it took overtime to get to 24. Realistically, it was 17 the first week. That doesn't win a lot of games in 2022.
Their whole offense is struggling. It isn't just on Mitch.
I disagree a little bit. And I'm not saying Kenny Pickett would be like night and day better because we don't know that. He's a rookie. We throw out everything you know about him, what you saw in college, everything else. My point here being the offensive line is still a weakness, but with guys like Deontay Johnson and with guys like Chase Claypool and their tight end, whose name I can't think of right now, Pat Freiermuth, they should be doing better than this. They have the weapons.
I will give you this.
And Najee Harris is a good running back.
I will give you this.
Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, please. Back me up here.
Mike Tomlin, as good of a head coach that he is, one thing that he has struggled with is to decide what quarterback should be playing. Because we watched Mason Rudolph and
Duck Hodges.
You're
throwing it too far back.
No. Yeah, you're like, these are the guys that you picked out of drafts to do it. So I'm not saying Pickett's bad. What I'm saying is maybe he just doesn't know it. Maybe he can't see it. Maybe he doesn't know that Pickett has it.
And maybe he does, is the other point. Maybe he sees him in practice. He's like, he's not ready. Maybe there's a little bit of that.
Ben Roethlisberger, quote unquote, wasn't ready, but then you put him out there. And
but what are you supposed to do with the 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback? You're not like, well, you're not feeling it. We're gonna put Mason Rudolph in there. No, come on.
I was talking about when Maddox got hurt and then Roethlisberger came in. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, but he was ready because he was that freaking good.
Karen, good to see you.
She says, what about that Thursday game between the Steelers and Browns? We've been talking about it. Drew likes the Browns. I am in the Steelers camp. I think it's going to be close either way. Do you see this as a blowout? Do you think this is going to be another nail biter for both of the teams?
All this really means that I pick the Browns and the Browns are going to lose. Because whatever I pick, it's going to lose.
Okay.
It's been like that all year long.
That's fair. I feel like usually I'm pretty reliable going with the Steelers. And besides, Mike Tomlin has to get above 500. We both know that's going to happen. You win games like this to get there.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen. Sorry, put it in stone. He's going to beat him.
Ian says the panic meter goes up if the Steelers lose. They still got the Buffalo game coming up in the next few weeks. That's going to be the game to tell how the Steelers' year goes.
They're so good. Yeah, throw it out.
I got to disagree with you again. I think you're the one that brought it up last time. When you pick the best team in the league right now and say, oh, you lose this game to them, your year's over. How? That's not right.
As a Titans fan, I have to agree with you.
Well, the Rams season isn't over because they lost the Bills. It's not over.
It's a little worrisome when Atlanta hangs with you, but it's not over. For sure. For sure. Not by a long shot. Of course. I agree with that. And I will say this. When it comes to both of these teams, the AFC is tough. You can't drop games like this. These are those games that you circle on the calendar. They're like, okay, this has got to be a win. If we're going to the playoffs, this has got to be a win. And it just it makes it all the better to watch because it's a division game, and you know they're going to get to face each other twice, and they already don't like each other. So when both of these teams are circling this game saying, this is one we got to win, and we really don't like these guys on top of it, that's when good football happens. And that's what I'm hoping happens because on paper, Jacoby Brissett versus Mitch Trubisky is not a marquee matchup, and I'm kind of confused that they put that on week 3 on Thursday Night Football. Like, I feel like we could have sprung for a different matchup that would have been a little bit better.
Nathan says the Rams will be fine. Ian says he's not saying that the year will be over. But when you hang with a good team, then if I think we might say, if you can hang with a good team, good thing, then there's good things. Or you're just an average team. I know that you weren't sitting there saying that the Steelers are bad. My point is, you can't compare yourself to. If I keep walking into a store and the first thing I look for is a male model and go, well, I'm not good looking as he is.
Can't buy a shirt today.
Or I might as well walk out of the store. I'm going to walk out of the store every time I come into a store.
Me too.
I know that's ridiculous to say it like that, but that's how you're saying. You're going, well, if I can't hang or be with the best of the best, then my team's just not as good.
And while we're going with that metaphor, when that guy's 40, he might not be a male model. You just have to look better than that. And that's kind of where you're at. Like, the Bills might not be this team week 17 they are right now. Stephon Diggs gets hurt. Josh Allen gets hurt. Something along those lines. Even Von Miller. If Von Miller goes out, this might not be the same team in the same defense.
Absolutely.
Poyer as well at safety. Any of those guys get hurt, they might not be the same team. So, again, you can't compare yourself to where a team starts. It's all about where you finish, baby. Doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish, right? Well, I'm going motivational speaker here. Yeah, that's right.
Goosebumps.
Let's go run through that brick wall. I think the Bills are just on another level right now, and they're buying into the hype.
That's why Ian says he'll never go into an Abercrombie and Fitch.
We're
Do they even exist anymore?
We're not allowed in them. I don't know if they exist. We haven't been allowed in them since 2003. And Nathan, to his point, says the Bills look unbeatable.
They do.
Will they look unbeatable in Week 17? And
that's my biggest question.
To my credit, or to my detriment, I think I said the same thing about like that 17-0 Patriots team or 16-0 Patriots team, where I was like, they can't be this good forever. They're gonna drop one, and then they didn't. So maybe the Bills stay that good.
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah. 19-0, 19-2,
19-1,
2. Lost to the Giants.
Oh god.
Lost to the Titans in the preseason. So 22 and 2 or whatever. I can't do math. Anyway, moral of the story is
22-2.
we also beat them in the most important preseason game.
No, it'd have been 21-2 because they'd have a bye week.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, moral of the story is you're going Browns.
I can't do math. Yes, I'm going to take Browns, but I'm like, I'm doing the Browns.
I'm kind of doing that about the Steelers too. Don't get me wrong. I don't feel great about it. I'd never feel great about taking Mitch Trubisky, even though I like the rest of the Steelers team outside of their offensive line. But I think they're going to win this one. And I think it's going to be ugly because Brissett is just one of those guys that it's either Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt dominate this game or the Browns don't win. And I don't see them dominating the Steelers game, ground defense game.
Yeah.
So give me Steelers, unless Mitch throws it away, unless Jacoby throws it away.
Give me the Browns. That run game looks unstoppable. And I think it's just going to get better as the year goes on.
This feels like Jacksonville-Houston on Thursday night. I don't like this matchup. This is a noon game here, Drew.
This is way better than Jackson and Houston game.
Their defenses will be better, and then fewer points will be scored because of it. Like, at least there's like that comedy of errors thing that goes on where like everybody's bad at every spot.
You get to watch two quarterbacks that have nothing to do with the NFL in 5 years. Come on, how exciting are you?
They'll be backups. Mitch ain't going anywhere as a backup, especially Jacoby Brissett, probably the same way. Like, teams keep throwing money at him to be their backups. They'll be there.
Davis Mills.
That was rude.
And
Davis Mills is taking his job.
No, Davis Mills and Lawrence Taylor will be in the NFL in 5 years.
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay. Trevor Lawrence. Sorry, Trevor Lawrence. My bad. Trevor Lawrence and Davis Mills will be in the NFL in 5 years. Mr. Trubisky, Brissett, they'll be backups somewhere. Not playing.
I think they should both be backups now, and Brissett already is. But anyway, I digress.
Says, do not put the Steelers down like that, Jacob. Mad face.
I'm sorry.
Mad face.
I'm sorry, but Mitch, it's not the Steelers. I'm putting one Steeler down.
So mad.
And he takes the snap under center. I mean, his name's Mitch Trubisky. I mean, I'm putting Matt Canada down too because they need to open things up. Maybe Mitch should look better if you're throwing some deep passes. But yeah, no, I mean, you just how can you not put the Steelers down with the way the offenses looked for the first 2 weeks? They played tough defenses, whatever. But it's like you also have to rise to the occasion.
I like this comment. Ian Hand says he hopes Amazon Prime puts their stuff together this week and they can actually see and watch the game. Yes, that's something we did not talk about in this show. It was not acceptable.
No, and
it's not acceptable.
Can I also go out there and say that I dislike Kirk Herbstreit as a analysis in college football? So the fact that they paired him with Al Michaels, who I do like, but is also kind of on like the blander side of play-by-play.
Right.
Not crazy about that matchup. I think I'd rather listen to Kirk to
Tony
Romo. Well, yes, but I think I would rather listen to.
Do not say Joe.
Not Joe Buck and
Troy Aikman.
No, not Aikman and Buck. Well, yeah, I think I'd still rather those guys, as crazy as it sounds. Can we do a power rankings of like who we want to listen to?
We need to.
I'd rather listen to Chris Collinsworth is what I was going for than Kirk Herbstreit.
Can we just pull Madden out of the ground and put
I
put like a mechanical skeleton to him and just have his
it's like just a wax figure or something?
And he was like, bow! That was a whammy!
I would rather listen to Chris Collinsworth by himself than listen to Kirk Herbstreit.
I like Collinsworth, though.
I don't dislike – well, I do kind of dislike Collinsworth a lot of the time, but – sometimes he's funny. Sometimes he makes me laugh. But then other times I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I don't know. Maybe I'm just... Get us on Thursday night.
Says,
is all I'm saying. Get us on Thursday night.
We could do it. I'm definitely the color guy.
Can we do it without beer?
I'm definitely the color guy.
Can we do it without drinking, though? That might be a little awkward. We'd be up there like,
The camera's not
so
always on
fun.
them.
Aikman seems kind of sloshed sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Ian says he agrees, but at least it's not Chris Collinsworth. And I'm not saying.
Cheers to that. He's not. I've softened to Collinsworth. I used to absolutely hate him. Softened a little bit here over the past couple of years listening to him because I don't know, maybe like the Monday night broadcast, bland as oatmeal.
Yeah.
I don't know. They need to just get some comedians or something on there and spice it up a little bit.
I'm okay with the Mannings doing it.
I like the Manning cast too. I don't like when the Manning cast like deviates and they're like, how many famous people can we get on here and not talk about the game? Just let the Mannings talk about the game and make fun of everybody. I would love to watch that.
Get a play-to-play guy. God, what's his little short butt's name? They're a little tiny guy that does pretty good. Oh man, I'll think about it off the air. Anyways,
you're not talking like Mike Tirico or anything, are you? I don't dislike Tirico. I think Tirico's fine, but he's again play-by-play guy.
No, not him. Scott says Jacksonville Jaguars are going to surprise some people. I think they already have.
I think their front seven is going to surprise some people. I think their secondary is going to be a bit of a weakness. I think Trevor Lawrence needs to take a step forward, and it seems like he's doing an okay job of it so far. Like, if Week 17, Trevor Lawrence has like 10 good games, this season's a win for Jacksonville regardless, whether you win like 12 games or whether you win 2. I think that's realistically what they need to look forward to. As far as surprising people, I mean, the rest of the AFC South is so bad, I can't say no. Like, they might win this. They might win this thing, Drew. They might. They already beat Indy. They already got one on Indy.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
We'll see if they can stop Derrick Henry because that's been their big downfall. But this offensive line, I would pick this year to be the year to do it.
My last thought for the show. We kid about drinking. If you pay me as much as they paid those guys to do those, calling the game and all that stuff, I can do it without drinking, no problem. I'll drink before, and I will drink after.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
During the game, I will not be drinking. Hey, I wasn't drinking at work.
You'll just be having that like weird coming down hangover by the end of the game, and you're like, I don't care who wins anymore, dude. This is over.
Halftime, I'm not working.
Halftime,
I'm not working.
Got to hit the old refresher.
I get my bus
again. Nathan also says Iron Eagle sucks. I know, because the Titans get him every week. Like, they always get the 5th team for CBS, so whatever. We don't all get Tony Romo every week, Drew. Anyway,
welcome.
We've got some special thanks, guys. It was a great show. We didn't get to everything, but what else is new?
You have a last thought? That was your last thought?
My last thought is, Iron Eagle is another one of those, like,
Is there really a great guy out there?
Tony Romo, yeah.
But he kind of gets
Kevin Harlan. I like Kevin Harlan. He does radio more than anything. Like Kevin Harlan a lot.
What's that name?
I'm going out there. He does he's the voice of Sunday Night Football. You would recognize it if you heard him. Anyway, I like Kevin Harlan a lot. I think he is, like, for play-by-play, about as good as it gets.
I got Kevin Harley. That's not who I was going for.
Oh, no. I'm trying to think. Is there anyone else that I really like in commentary right now? Not particularly. That's why a lot of times I just watch the game on mute. But I like the Mannings, if that makes you feel any better. I don't like the way that ESPN handles the Manning cast, where they always kind of trot in every famous person under the sun, and is more like an episode of, like, Oprah or something like that, where they're like, look who we've got now. Don't like that. I think the game would be better if you just put the two Mannings in a booth and just let them off the leash. Let them say whatever they want. Like, tear into Tom Brady. You don't like that guy, right? I want to hear every, like, mistake he makes. Like, just have Peyton Manning crap on that. I think that'd be fun. He wouldn't do it because he's too nice of a guy. I'd love to hear it, though.
Yeah. Did you watch the Eli Manning try to do the walk-on thing at Penn State?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah, look that up.
Oh,
it's
really?
Hilarious, dude. They did, like, all, like, movie makeup and stuff like that, and I think he called himself Chad Powers.
Oh, yeah.
He goes out there, and he got one of the coaches that was like, I think we're going to sign this guy.
Yeah.
And then when he started ripping off, like, his wig and mask and his, like, makeup, the guy was like, I literally said what I said. All right, guys.
Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to stay up to date with all of our NFL videos as well as everything else we're talking about in sports.
We have a great community on Facebook already, but we're trying to grow our community on YouTube because we believe you guys can talk sports just as well as anybody else, and we can't wait to have those conversations with you.
So grab a drink, hit subscribe, come talk sports with us.